Okay, good morning cadets once again. Today let us solve one more problem on a system of charges. Here we have again a system of three charges. Only difference is one of them is negative charge. It is a system of three charges Q, Q and Q. But this Q at C is minus Q. Being placed at the three vertices of a equilateral triangle. Again, what is the force on each charge? Question is, what is the force on each charge? And second thing, what is the net force on the system of three charges? Okay. Now, first of all, look at this right and equilateral triangle. ABC is again equilateral triangle. Triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle. With the side, with each side of length L. It means the distance between the pair of charges is L, any pair. So it is A, B, C. So we will calculate first the force on each charge. What is the force on each charge? So look at the interaction between the charges at A and B. The charges at A and B are like charges. When they are like charges, then there will be the force of repulsion. So force on A due to B is repulsive. So it is shown in this direction. And force on B due to A is also repulsive. This is also shown in this direction. FBA, pointing away from each other. They are of the same magnitude, pointing away from each other. So this is force FBA and FAB respectively. Now look at the pair of forces, the pair of charges Q and minus Q. So there exists the force of attraction. The force of attraction will be shown towards each other. Force on A due to C. Force on A due to C is shown by FAC towards C. That is on A. Now, in the same way, force on B due to C is again attractive force towards C. So it is also towards C. FBC. Okay. Now, since it is an equilateral triangle, the angle A is definitely 60 degree. Each angle is 60 degree. Therefore, definitely this angle is going to be 120 degree. It's going to be 120 degree. And the magnitudes of FBC and FAB or magnitudes of FBA and FAC, they are all same. Magnitudes are all same. Now similarly, force exerted on C due to A, it is again attractive force towards A. So this is force on C due to A, towards A. Force on C due to B is again attractive. It is also towards B. So it is FBC towards B. FBC. Force on C. Yes, it is not FBC. It is FCB. Force on C due to B. Force on C due to B. Right? Now the question is to calculate what is the force on each charge. So let me calculate force on charge at A, then force on charge at B, then force on charge at C. We can calculate. So we will start with force on charge at C. Force on charge minus Q at C. That is, I can write here net force. Net force on charge minus Q at C. Net force I have to calculate. So I will write it as vector Fc, force on charge at C. So vector Fc. Vector Fc is equal to, look at these two forces. Vector Fca plus vector Fcb. These are the two vectors. The angle between them is 60 degree. Here the angle BCA is equal to 60 degree. So I can find out what is the magnitude of Fc. And magnitude of Fca and magnitude of Fcb is same. Magnitudes are equal. Fca magnitude is equal to Fcb magnitude. Although directions are different, but their magnitudes are equal. How is it? Because the pair of charges are same here. Here also plus Q minus Q plus Q minus Q. So I will write here magnitude as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q into Q square upon L square. Q square upon L square. So I am taking magnitude, therefore it is positive value. So therefore it is magnitude being positive value. So magnitude is same. So let us take this magnitude as okay. Let us take this magnitude as F. So I can substitute this F and calculate what is Fc. Therefore, magnitude of Fc, just Fc if I write without any arrow mark, then it implies magnitude of Fc. I can calculate using cosine law. Square root of Fca square, which I have taken as F, so F square plus Fcb square, that is Fcb square, so F square plus 2F into F. 2F into F becomes 2F square. 2F square into cos, the angle between them 60 degree. So thus becomes F square plus F square, 2F square plus 2F square into 1 by 2, because cos 60 is 1 by 2. So 2 cancels with 1 by 2. So you are left with square root of 3F square. Square root of 3F square. So thus Fc is equal to F root 3. F root 3. Where? What is F? I have already written. This is F. F root 3. We call this equation 1. This is the force on minus charge Q. In the same way, I can calculate what is force on plus charge Q at A. F A vector. Force on plus charge Q at B. F B vector. So I will be able to get F A vector and F B vector. But you see the difference here. The difference here is, although the magnitudes are same, the magnitudes are going to be same. Q square upon 4 pi epsilon naught L square, that is F. Magnitudes are F. But here what is difference? The angle between them is 120 degree. Angle between them is 120 degree, right? So we have to take into account of cos 120 degree. Cos 120 degree is equal to cos of 180 minus 60. Cos of 180 minus 60 is minus cos 60. Right? So minus cos 60 means minus 1 by 2. That is the only difference we have to take into account. Okay? So it will be 2F square minus 2F square into 1 by 2. 2F square into 1 by 2, that becomes 2F square minus F square. So it is going to be just F. That's how we are going to get. Okay? Let us solve now. Now, force, net force on charge, plus Q at A. Here we had calculated for charge at C. Now we are calculating charge at A. FA vector is equal to, again we have to write FAC vector plus FAB vector plus FAC vector. But the angle between them is 120 degree. Here angle theta between them is 130 degree. Therefore, I can calculate what is FA. So FA means, again, as I have written here, magnitude of vector FA, which is equal to square root of, again, whether it is FAB vector, FAC vector, the magnitude is same. Magnitude is F only. So I can take directly F square plus 2F square into cos 120. Cos 120. Cos 120 is equal to cos 180 minus 60. So this I can write as F square plus F square, 2F square plus 2F square into minus cos 180, because 180 minus 60. Cos of 180 minus 60. What is cos of 180 minus 60? Is it not minus cos 60? So minus cos 60 means that will be minus 1 by 2. Right? This value I am going to write. So 2 cancels. 2F square minus F square. So it becomes square root of F square. Therefore, interestingly, vector F, that is magnitude of FA, is equal to F itself. But what is direction? Direction is different. But direction of vector FA, look at this. I have to draw a parallelogram, construct a parallelogram, draw this. This becomes vector FA. So from the symmetry I can say it is directed at a degree of 60, or it is directed at an angle of 60 degree with respect to the side AC. It is directed at a degree of at an angle of 60 degree with side AC. Direction of FA, that is at 60 degree with side AC. Now that is direction of FA and magnitude of FA, which is equal to F. In the same way, I can calculate what is the magnitude of force at B. That is net force at B. Net force at B can be again followed with the same procedure. Look at this. These are the two vectors. So we can find out the magnitude. So we got the direction of FA at about 60 degree with respect to AC. So direction of FA vector is at 60 degree with respect to AC. Similarly, what is direction of FC? FC is bisecting this angle, BCA. So it is an angle of 30 degree. 30 degree with the side is AC, or it is an angle of 30 degree with the side BC. So it is bisecting this angle BCA. So definitely it is at angle 30 degree, and this is vector FC. And we have found out what is the magnitude of this vector FC. This is about root 3f or f root 3, and this magnitude is f, that is fa equal to f. In the same way, I can find out what is the direction and magnitude of fb. Again, construct a parallelogram using these sides. Draw a parallelogram, and when you draw a parallelogram, you will get the diagonal representing the vector fb. So again, this vector is also making an angle of 60 degree. 60 degree. 60 degree with the side BC. It is making an angle of 60 degree with the side BC. Right? This is FB. So in the same line, I can write net force on charge plus Q. So net force on charge plus Q. Similarly, force on charge at B. Net force on charge at B, that is FB vector is equal to F as another FBA vector plus FBC vector. Again, the angle between them is 120 degree. The angle between them is 120 degree. So again, cos of 180 or cos of 120 is equal to minus 1 by 2, right? So again, by using the magnitude of FB, by using cosine law, I can write magnitude of FB equal to same f square plus f square plus 2f square into minus 1 by 2. So now I am writing directly because I know the result here. That is cos 120 equal to minus 1 by 2. So it becomes 2f square minus f square, that is f square under root. Therefore, FB vector is equal to magnitude of FB equal to F. But direction here, vector FB, you can see here, vector FB is directed along the angle bisector of 120 degree. Angle bisector of 120 degree. So we can write FB is directed at 60 degree with BC, 60 degree with BC, the side BC, 60 degree with side BC, or 120 degree with side AB. 60 degree. Yes. So now we got all the results. This is activity 3. So we got the force on each charge. Thus, from result 1, Fc is equal to root 3f. Fb is equal to, okay, magnitude I have written. Fb is equal to Fa is also equal to F. Right? This is the first part of the question. Second part, just look at the second part of the question. What is the net force on the system of 3 charges? So net force on system of 3 charges is net force due to Fb, Fc and Fa. So we have to calculate vector Fa plus vector Fb plus vector Fc. So if you draw the vector diagram, vector Fa plus vector Fb plus vector Fc, by transferring them parallel to each other, parallel to each other, we will come to know that the net force is going to be 0. Let us see how is it going to be net force equal to 0. Okay, now let us calculate the net force on the system of the given 3 charges. System of the given 3 charges. So to calculate the net force, we have to refer this vector diagram once again. Vector FA, I am transferring this vector FA parallel to itself. Vector FA parallel to BC. Look at this. Vector FA is parallel to BC. So I have drawn parallel to BC. FA parallel to BC. Then vector FB. Vector FB. Look at this. This vector FB is at angle 60 degree. So definitely vector FB is parallel to the side AC. So I am drawing FB parallel to side AC. So FB parallel to side AC. So then naturally the angle between them is 60 degree. This AC is parallel to FB. Therefore the angle between FB and FA is 60 degree. So the angle here is 60 degree. Now FC, shift this FC parallel to itself, and this will be along the angle bisecting 60 degree. So angle bisecting 60 degree. So this becomes vector FC. This is vector FB. Now magnitude of FA and FB we know they are both same. Magnitude of FB is equal to magnitude of FA, which we got as equal to F. Now the angle between FA and FB is 60 degree. Angle between FA and FB is 60 degree. So I can find out what is the resultant. So if you draw, the resultant is going to be again, if you draw parallelogram, the resultant is going to be along the diagonal of the parallelogram. So this is going to be the vector FA plus vector FB. Here, angle between vector FA and vector FB is 60 degree. Therefore, resultant, I will call this resultant as FC dash. FC dash I will call the resultant, this one as FC dash. Magnitude of FA, magnitude of FA is F only, F square, plus that of FB is F square, plus 2F square into cos 60. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. So 2 cancels. Therefore, you are getting square root of 3F square again. 3F square. Therefore, FC dash is equal to F root 3, but it is directed vertically upwards. Directed vertically upwards. So if you want to show exactly, it is directed about positive axis. So FC dash vector, if you take it, FC dash vector is equal to root 3F j cap. Whereas FC vector, when you look at the FC vector is directed along negative y-axis. So this is also having same magnitude but about negative y-axis. Therefore, net force, let's what we are calculating. Net force on the system of three charges is vector Fc dash plus vector Fc is equal to 0. That is vector Fa plus vector Fb plus vector Fc. So the net force on the system of the three charges is 0. This is true because the one of the charges here, out of the three charges, one of the charges is negative. Therefore, net force is 0. Okay, this is how we need to solve the problem. If it would be positive, what would be the situation? If it would be positive, then here also it would be having resultant force in the exact opposite direction. Resultant force will be in the opposite direction. Fb, Fa and Fc would be in the opposite direction. So it will be net force will be in the upward direction. Okay. So that's how we need to solve the problems. Next, we will discuss about what is electric field. Okay. Just like we have discussed what is the gravitational field, what is the magnetic field, we need to discuss about what is electric field. You know what is the meaning of magnetic field? If suppose this is a bar magnet, when this bar magnet is brought in the vicinity of pieces of iron or iron filings, suddenly it will pull the iron filings and the iron filings will be attracted towards the magnet. So this magnet has got its own space of influence, its own volume of influence, its own area of influence around it, in which the iron filings or piece of iron will be experiencing the magnetic force. It will be experiencing magnetic force of attraction. Or if you bring any another magnet, a tiny magnet with its like pole, the like pole of that tiny magnet will be experiencing repulsive force, whether it is attractive force or repulsive force. So it is bound by its own volume of influence. That volume of influence or space of influence in which the magnetic force of this source magnet is felt, that is called as its magnetic field. In the same way, what is gravitational field we have studied? The gravitational field is the space of influence in which the gravitational force of a particular mass is experienced. For example, if you want to study the gravitational field of the earth, the gravitational field of the earth is infinitely large, but it has got a limitation again. If we bring a mass in the field of this gravitational field of the earth, then that mass will be attracted towards the earth. So the gravitational field of the earth is the force experienced by that mass in that particular region of influence. So earth has got its own region, its own space of influence in which any other mass will experience an attractive force. So that is how we call it as gravitational field. In the same way, we can study what is electric field. Suppose this is a point charge. Suppose this is a point charge. This point charge will exert force on any other charge whichever comes in its vicinity. It will exert force of repulsion on like charge. It will exert force of attraction on unlike charge. So that region of influence or that space of influence in which the electric force is experienced by any test charge, that region defines what is the electric field of this test charge. Now we will define what is electric field due to a point charge. Now we will understand what is the meaning of electric field. As I have just now quoted, the space of influence around a source charge in which the electric force is experienced or electric force is exerted on a test charge. Let us consider a source charge. For simplicity, let us first consider source charge to be a point charge. Point charge as a source charge. So this has got its own volume of influence around it. Suppose this is a test charge. Test charge is that infinitesimal small charge. It is that infinitesimal small positive charge only which will not disturb the configuration of this source charge. Definitely this source charge also experiences repulsive force as the test charge experience. But we have to take such a small charge which will not accelerate this source charge. That is the meaning of test charge. So test charge is infinitesimal small amount of charge. Then the force experienced by this test charge, force experienced per unit charge by this test charge is defined as electric field due to this source charge. Right? So how is it calculated? Let us consider the test charge to be at a distance r from the source charge. Now first we will calculate what is the force on the test charge. Q naught due to source charge Q. This is F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. This is definitely a vector and the force is repulsive force. I will denote it by some unit vector R. So 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square, because the product of charges is Q naught by R square, where R is the distance and R cap is the unit vector. Now electric field. Electric field of source charge. Electric field of source charge capital Q. It is defined as, it is denoted by capital E. Capital E equal to force experienced F per unit charge. Per unit charge, if you want to calculate, then we have to divide it by Q naught. So force experienced per unit charge. So divided by Q naught. So when you divide this entire equation by Q naught, you will naturally see that 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R square is left. Q naught is cancelled. Therefore, you are left with Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R square into R cap. This becomes the equation for electric field. So we can define what is electric field. Electric field is defined as the force experienced per unit charge. Force experienced per unit charge is called as electric field. Or when we are defining with respect to test charge, the test charge should be infinitesimally small, as I have told you. It should be infinitesimally small charge, so that it doesn't disturb the configuration. So that it doesn't disturb the configuration of source charge. So in this case, how do you define electric field? Electric field, now it is defined as force per unit charge experienced by test charge. Force per unit charge experienced by test charge is called as the electric field. So if you write it, electric field is equal to F upon Q naught. So finally we get 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into Q upon R square Q upon R square. So electric field magnitude depends directly on the amount of source charge, and it does not depend on the test charge, amount of source charge. It is inversely proportional to square of the distance separating these two charges. So these are the 2 points to be remembered. And you see, here it is test charge should be infinitesimally small amount of positive charge. Small amount of positive charge. It is conventionally taken to be infinitesimal small amount of positive charge, always positive charge, to be taken as test charge. So that this test charge can be even taken for source positive charge, can be even taken for source negative charge. So for a source positive charge, electric field is away from the source, radially away from the source. For a source negative charge, electric field is towards the negative charge, radially reverse. Okay, these things we will study in detail in the next period. That is, we are concluding the electric field is directed radially outwards. Directed radially outwards for positive source charge, and electric field is directed radially inwards for negative charge, negative source charge. This is what we are going to see in detail in the next session. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.